Hello. Happy Friday. I'm so glad to see you. Welcome. I want to talk about social rejection today. So I'm so glad that you've chosen to sit with me for a minute and talk about this. It's okay. We're wired for connection. You're looking at this on a feed either on YouTube or on Facebook, and Facebook is a social network. It's a network to connect us. Whenever we get the urge to get on Facebook, we're wanting connection. We're wanting to see if someone has updated something for us or liked us, or like we've got this neurotransmitter going through our head, serotonin, which is so fascinating, but it's what's involved when we're talking about connecting socially with people and interacting in relationship. And we have a strong desire to be included. And this was by design, because relationship is a beautiful way that we are able to just to be with people and then sharpen each other and grow. And there are many ways that relationships can turn toxic, and we think, oh, relationships are to be avoided, but that's not the design. If we're feeling that way, that people are toxic, that we need to stay away from them, that like these are bad people that are like, they're killing me. Sometimes like there's a nuance there, but overall, like we want connection with people. And so in order to get healthy in our thinking, healthy in our mental health, our emotional health, understanding the role of relationships is crucial. So I used to have very strong social anxiety when I was out in public, and maybe not so much at TJ Maxx when I was shopping, although if someone did make eye contact with me, I would like break into a cold sweat or a hot sweat, whatever. And, I didn't want store clerks coming up and talking to me, because then I'd have to tell them to go away, and like saying that confrontational. I was just so rattled. I was comfortable in certain spiritual settings to a degree. I could pretty much be comfortable. I remember having very thoughts at a very young age, like I can be myself when I'm at church, but then when I'm at school, I'm a wreck. And that traveled with me through college. I remember being at my university. I was probably 21, 22. No, I was 22 or 23 at this point. And I was waiting for a professor to get free to be able to speak with me. And a guy came and sat down beside me. Nice looking guy. I'd never seen him in my life. But he started speaking with me as if we were best friends, which for me, having extreme social anxiety at the time, was the worst thing that could have happened. And so he's like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" And I was just like, crickets. And I was like, "I'm good, thank you." And I averted my eyes. I couldn't even make eye contact with him. And it wasn't because like I just was overwhelmed at his attractiveness, but like he was moderately attractive. Not the like most attractive guy, but like in certain settings I'd been like with attractive guys, but it wasn't even about that with him. He was so comfortable, and he was so comfortable in his own skin. And he sat down and he's like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And I was like, I'm waiting for my professor." Like I couldn't even make eye contact with him because I was so just, I didn't know my own value. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how amazing I was. And so I was insecure. And this blanket of insecurity was just on top of me, stifling who I really was, because I couldn't be myself because I didn't know my own value. And that's why I'm such an advocate for authenticity, for knowing who you are, knowing how valuable you are, because it's when you connect with that value that you start seeing all of the negative or the incorrect beliefs and assumptions that you've had about yourself. You're challenged to look at those head on and say, is this true? And do I want to continue in this pattern? Does this thought bless me? Does this thought make my life better? I would have thoughts like, I don't belong here, which would, of course, make me clam up and just like judge everybody else who was there. If I thought I don't belong here, I would immediately think on the heels of that, they don't want me here. I'm not welcome here. I'm not liked, things like that. Or I would think I'm an introvert, which to me meant that I didn't have to get outside of my own self to speak with people, which was like, it's my prerogative, but saying I'm an introvert was my excuse to remain closed off and isolated from people. And when we're designed for connection and we isolate ourselves, things start breaking down. I would think, I don't know what to say, which like in this case with the guy, when he sat down and he's just like talking to me like I'm his old best friend. And I was like, I don't know what to say, which is so funny now because I recognize that that's not accurate. I did speak to him. Now, I didn't have to come up with a bunch of stuff to say to him, but that was just a thought. I don't know what to say. If I had thought a different thought and believed it like, oh, here's another chance to meet a new friend, I would have had so many things to say. But because I believed the other thought, it proved itself true in me being like, I'm waiting for my professor. Okay? I would think, I wish I could meet people easily, which of course was proved true by me not meeting people easily. Like, I wish I could meet people easily meant that my actions as a result of that were not meeting people easily. I would also think, I wonder what they're thinking about me. In fact, I've often had the thought, I would love to be a part of my own funeral just to see what people would say about me. And now I'm like, that's foolishness, because I don't need to know what other people think about me. I don't need to know what other people are going to say about me, because I know who I am, and I don't need any validation to come from outside of me, because I realize I'm the only one that can give it to myself. I approve of myself. I approve of myself when I'm making the right choices and when I'm making the wrong ones. I'm choosing to love myself in spite of my actions. And because of that, I make a lot less mean actions towards other people, because I'm conscious of loving me, and out of loving me, I'm able to love people. It's really cool how that works. So when I was feeling so inadequate because I was thinking thoughts like, I don't belong here, I wonder what they're thinking of me, they're probably judging me, I was feeling inadequate, I was feeling afraid, I was feeling lonely, I was fearful. All of that made me apprehensive and overly cautious, and it was so hard to connect with people because I had these fundamental beliefs about myself that I needed other people's approval for me to feel valuable, for me to be accepted, so that I wouldn't experience rejection. It's completely false now, and I'm so glad that I have been given coaching tools to be able to break free from all of that. Insecurities, fundamentally, insecurities come from not understanding our value. If you don't, or if you notice that you're feeling insecure, think, am I valuing myself right now? If you have a fundamental belief that you are like your value is chipped away in a certain area of your heart or your soul or your life, whatever, if you have a certain a fundamental belief that your value has been diminished in any capacity, that will create an insecurity in you. And the results of that, just look at how your behavior is on the heels of feeling insecure. Is it something you're proud of? Is it something you want to continue? And it's such a joy for me to work with a client and to show them, hey, when you think this thought, this is a belief you have. When you think this, how do you feel? And how do you act? And what's the result of that action? All of this is optional for you. Do you like where this is leading you? Do you like the outcome? I'm not here to present judgment. I'm here to give you awareness. And I think gaining awareness, number one, it's the pivotal first point to being able to change anything in our life. Without awareness, we're nothing. We don't have anything. But God has given us the ability to be aware of our thoughts, to pay attention to them, and to reflect on them and decide if we're going to keep them or not, if they're benefiting us. So now all of those previous thoughts that I had are no longer on replay in my head because I have a solid belief that no matter where I go, I belong. No matter where. If I notice a hint of like, these people look cooler than me or something, like, or these people have it all together and I don't. Or it could be the opposite, that I feel like I'm better than other people. That's another form of insecurity. That shows up when it's pride, it's this false security, because really we're just trying to build it up and cover up the fact that we are insecure. It's such a sham. But if I even notice that I feel better than someone else, I think I belong here. And I belong with these precious people. And it instantly brings me back into the realization that I have 100% value and that everyone else around me too has 100% value. And it instantly secures me in who I am and how I'm showing up and how I can love and how I can interact. And it's a beautiful way to start speaking to yourself from a place of security. So if you're feeling social rejection, start thinking stuff like this. Like, pay attention to those thoughts. Pay attention to them. They're sneaky. Some of them even sound good. They might sound something like, I just want people to like me. I want to be accepted. Like, what does that mean? Like, why do you need other people to like you? Why do you need to be accepted by other people? And once you realize that comes from within anyway, if someone comes up and says something that I would take as a nourishing and accepting thought or statement from someone else, what my brain immediately does is, I'm accepted, they like me, and I relax. And those thoughts are the ones that made me relax, not what they said. It's really cool. So anyway, I love doing this work with clients. I am all about authenticity, stepping into security, being confident in our decisions, making the hard decisions that are going to benefit our lives. And I love doing this work with my clients. It's such an honor to see people stepping into their authenticity, into vulnerability. That's where the magic happens, y'all. If this is something you're wanting to work with on a deeper level to get real, crazy, awesome results in your life, please reach out to me. It would be my honor to schedule a consult with you. We'll talk about your situation, take about an hour. It's so much fun, and it's all about you and where you are specifically. So let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, but go walk today thinking, I belong here. I belong, period. And I belong here, and I'm ready for whatever happens. I'm prepared, and I can take it and I can handle it. And I'm excited about the opportunities. Just start thinking thoughts like that and build your mind towards those type of thoughts. Anyway, love you so much love for you. I appreciate y'all so very much. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, thanks. Bye. Mwah.